Hi everyone, hope you all are doing really well. So I have started a new video on interview playlist. I think there are a lot of interviews going on for the SDET profile. So I think if you're preparing, so I'll be making videos on the topic which is very much relevant to the interview, and that will really help you out in terms of if you're watching the same video. I think there are most of the topics has been covered. So I think these all series will really help you out in terms of your preparation. So stay tuned for this video. So, and a big announcement, if I'll get a good response in this video, I'll be uploading more of Selenium questions if you want it. So otherwise I'll switch on into another topic. So yeah, so I have this one has 27 slides. So right now I've covered 1/3 of it, like probably 12, 13, but rest of the one for only upload when I get a good response in terms of learning the Selenium. Selenium is also a very important topic. So now I think people are taking the second round is base. First round is of Java, second round is purely on Selenium, and the third round Selenium and the APIs. So I think that's all. So I've also uploaded a rest assured video. So I'll be putting the link here. So please go ahead and check it out, that rest assured and some of the interview questions, which is very relevant to the current ongoing interview process. So even I was also giving the interviews, and yeah, so I'll be sharing a good news soon, and I'm praying to God that my stars should align and I'll get the opportunity as soon as possible and be go ahead and like sharing the interview. So to be honest, I've given some of the good companies interviews, and wherein although these are the questions has been answered to me, so I've collated everything and I'm giving it to you. This is also I've used it for my preparation. So yeah, meanwhile I have put in this slide so that there is no blank. So if you don't want to listen to me, you can read out this slide. So I think and before we start, I request you to guys please subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. This kind of giving motivation to me, and maybe yeah, thank you for watching all my videos out there. So now, what is Selenium? Selenium is widely used open source automation testing tool, primarily used for automating web applications. So it provides a suite of tools for automating web browsers across various platforms. So what all different components of Selenium? So yes, we will be covering all those questions because you never know what question has been thrown on you, and I think the basics basically we forget. So I think the basics question is also asked sometimes in terms of interview. So we'll be covering all those basics. So Selenium WebDriver is used to automate web applications by directly calling the browser native methods. Then we have a plugin. Selenium ID is an open source test automation tool that works on record and playback principles. And then we have a Selenium Grid, allows Selenium tests to run in parallel across multiple machines. What is Selenium WebDriver? Is a popular open source library and a key component of the Selenium automation framework. Is used to automate testing for web applications. It is a collection of APIs which leverages a programming interface for developers and the testers to write scripts in various programming languages such as Java, JavaScript, C#, Python, etc. to automate web browsers, actions, and retrieve information from web pages. Through this scripts, WebDriver simulates user actions, navigate through web pages, interacts with elements such as button, text, drop down menu, forms, links, etc. Submit forms, perform validations and sessions, and many more. So in terms of that is like Selenium WebDriver, what does it use? By using a language binding, right? User communicate via APIs, by using user communicate to the Selenium WebDriver by using a Selenium WebDriver. By using a language binding, user communicates to the Selenium WebDrivers, and then Selenium WebDriver with the use of APIs perform actions on any of the browsers. So that is a simple thing, okay, which can be understandable. So yes, again I'll say, by using a language binding, user communicates to the Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium WebDriver uses its APIs to perform the actions provided by the user into the browsers. So what is the architecture of Selenium WebDriver? So this is also a very important question, that architecture is very important. So we also know the architecture like search context, then we have a WebDriver, then we have a remote WebDrivers. So these all are interfaces. In that remote WebDriver is a class, okay, and then we have Firefox driver class, and then the browser classes we have it like Chrome driver classes. So these are the interface, and then it will be retrieved by these are the classes. So then we have Selenium WebDriver architecture is made up of 4 major components: Selenium client library, JSON wire protocol over HTTP, browser drivers and browsers. So that is also the elements it is in Selenium 3. So Selenium client library provides support to multiple libraries such as Ruby, Python, Java, etc. as a language binding, and then JSON is an acronym for JavaScript object notations. Full form of JSON also like yaad kar lena. It's an open standards that provides a transport mechanism for transferring data between client and server on the web. Then we have browser driver. Selenium browser drivers are the native to each browser interacting with the browser by establishing a secure connection. Selenium supports different browser drivers such as Chrome driver, Geeko driver, Microsoft Edge web driver, Safari driver, Internet Explorer driver, etc. Then we also have a browsers. So it supports multiple browser, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, IE, etc. So this is the architectural diagram of a Selenium 3 WebDriver architecture. Like we have a Selenium client libraries, JSON wire protocol, browser drivers, and real browsers. So architecture of Selenium 4 driver, like architecture of Selenium 4 WebDriver. The architecture of similar to Selenium 3. It uses WC protocol instead of JSON protocol. So JSON wire protocol for communication between client libraries and browser drivers. So W3 stand for WWW, like the World Wide Web Consortium and international communities that develops, maintains standards and guidelines for the WWW. The main aim to W3 is to ensure long-term growth and interoperability of the web. It's just FYI, okay? But this is also, you need to know that this is the one which I've told you, and the second, third, there are different architectures. So if person specifies you, so you should be knowing what all architectures are available for Selenium. So then again it creates the standards. Okay, W3 kya hai? That's all browsers and the browser driver Selenium architecture follows W3C except Selenium 3. WebDriver enhanced JSON wire is used to encode and decode the request and response. So JSON wire protocol is used to encode and decode the request and responses. Okay, this is how this enhance the browser compatibility, performance, efficiency. Like this is the basic thing. So you can read it out, but this is very important to have the different architecture and what is the difference between the architectural difference in Selenium 3 and Selenium 4. That is something which you really have to remember, that Selenium 3 using JSON wire protocol and Selenium 4 use W3C protocol, which is World Wide Web Consortium. I don't know. This is how it is. And they all traverse through HTTP hypertext protocol. What are some advantages of Selenium? Selenium has the advantages. Selenium open source supports multiple languages, supports multiple browsers, helping communicate. Like it has a wide resources. Using the Selenium IDEA component, non-programmers can also automate scripts. Selenium Grid can be having distributed testing can be done. Now, what is the limitations of testing? Okay, so we cannot test desktop applications. We cannot test web services using Selenium. Programming language, yes, web services or the APIs can be tested by the use of REST assured. So programming language knowledge is required for creating robust script in Selenium WebDriver. It cannot be automated. OTP cannot be done, and then CAPTCHA cannot be automated, right? Also, we have to rely on external libraries like for the program, like for this thing, right? For reading the Excel, we used to use TestNG, JUnit, right? For the reporting purpose, also we have to rely on other external libraries. So which browser drivers are supported by Selenium? So these are the browsers and the driver has been supported for the app. For I think this is very important. For the headless, you'll be using HTML unit driver. Okay, but the rest we have already covered. So just a quick overview on those. So what is Selenium 4? How it is different from other Selenium versions? So it is using W3C, right? In some simple words, Selenium test suites are more stable and reduce compatibility issues across different web browsers. Okay, those who have used Selenium 4 and a lower version would know that the Selenium test uses JSON wire protocol to communicate with the web browsers. In this case, Selenium 4, in the case of Selenium 4, there is no need for encoding and decoding. They'll be using, like, browsers are also using www, right? And then Selenium 4 is also using the same. So there's no encoding and decoding thing is required. Okay, this allows WebDirect to interact directly with the target browser and it will be a little faster also. Then there's no encoding and decoding is there. So the different features of Selenium 4 are: it is W3 compliant. This makes cross-browser test more stable. A new Selenium 4 IDE for both Chrome and Firefox is introduced for that. And then I think this is how it is. And the languages can be used like C#, Java, JavaScript. Selenium Grid features is more user friendly and comes with Docker support like that. Okay, it's not only Selenium Grid, this is also the feature which has to be which is being used here. Now, WebDriver hierarchy. We have a search context, we have a WebDriver, we have a remote WebDriver. Okay, and then this is how it is. You can also have the associated one, which is JavaScript executor. Then we have virtual has virtual authenticator. Then we have take screenshot, has capabilities. These all things, but the basic is this one only. Okay. Nested classes of remote WebDriver. So what all nested classes under remote WebDriver? Somebody asks you give me the architecture of remote WebDriver. So you should be having that remote target locator, remote WebDriver options, and then implements WebDriver options. Then you also have as a remote timeouts, remote window. Then we have window target locators. These are the nested classes. We have remote timeouts and remote windows, and under that there is another interface, WebDriver timeouts, WebDriver windows. Okay, just for your information, you should be knowing it, because sometimes as you experience, these are the questions which are being asked. Okay, so remote driver class has the following nested classes. We have already fully implemented classes: remote target class, remote window options, remote timeouts, remote window. Selenium WebDriver interface methods. What all interface? Search context. In the topmost interface in the Selenium API, which has two methods. So search context has two methods: find element and find element. So find element and find elements belongs to search context. The Selenium WebDriver interface has many abstract methods. So if somebody asks what all abstract methods you have used it in your framework, what all abstract? It is get, dot quit, close, get window handles, get title. So these are the abstract method you have used it in your framework. This question has been like it has been asked to me like many times, and then initially I didn't know, but yeah, then I researched it and I put it. This question is very important. The WebDriver has nested interface, like what all interface has been used, like window, navigation, timeouts, okay, back and forward. These are the interfaces being used. Okay, like you should be knowing ki what all have you know what all OOPS concept has been used, but abstract interfaces also you should be knowing. Okay, so modify, there's a method, right? I think the slide I have just stretched it. Okay, just to see it, like the method, which methods you have used, class, modify and the type, what all the modifier they have used it. Just take it and read it. Okay, snap of it and then read it. Selenium WebDriver interface, because I think Selenium web element represents an HTML element. We can get the instance of web element using find element method and then perform the specific actions such as click, submit. Some of the commonly used web element method are clear, click, find element, find elements, get attributes, get CSS value, get locations, get react, get size, get tag name. Okay, then we have also used get text, is displays, is enabled, is selected, search, send keys, and then submit. Selenium browser options. So what all Chrome options, browser options, like browser options refers to the features and the capability shared by all browser. It has to modify the settings, capabilities of the browser while running an automated test on any browser. Selenium WebDriver begins with a fresh browser profile without any predefined settings or a cookies history. So on by default. So these are the code snippet has been used. So if nobody knows it, they can have it, all those things. So start with the fill screen, then you can have open an incognito mode and select the binary for that, and then you can also set the browser versions. You can use WebDriver, new Chrome driver options can be used, and Chrome options when we are using. So delete all cookies and then maximize browser. Then we also have a desired capability. So desired capabilities, पूछते हैं what is desired capability. So are a set of key value pairs encoded as a JSON object. It helps QAs define basic test requirements such as operating system, browser combinations, browser versions, etc. within a Selenium test script. So this is how the code, but that is something, this is how code I've put in it. But you can have like, this is the definitions which is being expected in terms of interview. How to launch a web browser is like next questions. But I think this is a very short video. But if you're interested to know more about it, like I think the questions which is very important is like the difference between Selenium 3 and Selenium 4. what are abstract classes is being used, the internal structure of Selenium 3, Selenium 4, the difference between both of them, and then what all the big architecture of Selenium. I think this is very important topics, and I think this video is very important. So if you want me to have more videos on Selenium, you know the drill. Just comment section. I just want more likes, and like I need to know whether that is this is adding a value to you guys or not. So that's the reason I want some comments, so that it's like quite interactive. We'll make it quite interactive. Okay, so yeah, thank you.